everyone. Thank you for joining the StackHack 1.0 webinar. We have with us here today Neel, who's the founder of Techzilla, and Soumya, who's the HR and operations head at Techzilla. So they are here to talk about Techzilla as a business and the importance of upskilling. They have various other interesting topics to share with us. One will be the importance of full stack and also how the industry is progressing today. So please, if you have any questions during the session, please ask your questions in the chat forum. There's going to be a Q&A session at the end of this talk. Yeah, over to you, Neel.
Everybody is doing great, and in this pandemic you get so much time and you are trying to upskill by yourself. You're trying to learn new things. So today we are here to discuss one of the important agenda that is going around. If you try and open your LinkedIn right now, you will see everybody's doing some course, learning new skills, upskilling basically. So one of the agenda today that we'll be discussing is like why upskilling is important. So if we consider the current scenario of the Indian marketplace, the unemployment rate is very high against, there are jobs available in the market. At the same time, they are ready to give you high packages, but students or the candidates do not have the right skill set. So why is this happening? So this mismatch basically is termed as a skill gap, where like there's a visible gap between the number of vacancies that require new skills and the candidates that have the skills. So okay, and the India Skill Report of 2019 denotes that only 45% of the graduating youth are actually employable. So that's a very, very low number and alarming number. So before we also proceed to some of the reasons, so why is this happening basically? What is the reason behind this scenario? It's like no relevant knowledge, no skill set, like they don't have the desired skill set. The workforce doesn't qualify for those available job opportunities. I see so many people on LinkedIn looking for a job. I don't have a job, there's a layoff in the company, I'm a fresher, please hire me. But they've just written skills in their CV that actually won't help you get a good job. Try learning something, get hands-on experience, make a small project and put it on GitHub. That actually will help you. That actually will help you crack the interview. Maybe you get a call from the HR because you have written some skills on the on your CV, but that doesn't entitle me that you already know these skills. And also, a lot of them are doing certifications of from Udemy, but that helps you to give the base of that stack. But you need to work on it, invest some time, and then go ahead and apply for the opportunity. So India possesses extremely low, that is 4.69% formally skilled workforces as compared to other countries such as China, US. Basically it means that when people graduate, only 4% of the students or the graduated people are can be termed as skilled workforce. Either they are working in some other domain, like an chemical engineer is working in IT domain, an IT engineer is doing a data entry job. And the biggest issue that I see that we've been noticing while we are in this venture, it's like the outdated syllabus that is taught in all the colleges, or say most of the institutes. I'm not talking about the tier 1 and tier 2 institutes, but probably the majority of the top universities that we have in India, and the outdated teaching approach. So when it comes to syllabus, we are taught say C++, Java. Okay, that is definitely required, but we need to update our syllabus. We need to update ourselves. The technology is evolving so faster, and the demand for the latest technology is increasing day by day, and for these technologies reducing. And at the same time, even if you consider say Java is there in say almost all the curriculum, like all the syllabus of all the universities, but still you don't have proper hands-on. When it comes to practical session in your colleges or in your institutes, you do not pay attention, or you tend to cheat, or you tend to not code, just copy the code from somewhere and just type it. And also we've been noticing that when you are giving your final year project, people usually do not tend to invest time and make their own project. For example, we this stack hack is conducted by HackerEarth and by us. So some people, if they just want to cheat and they're not interested, they're not passionate, what they will do, they'll try and find a ready-made solution on Google. They'll Google, and they'll get a code from some GitHub or some website which is giving you for free. They'll try and adapt a template, but that actually is just helping you to win the competition, but not actually to grow your skill set. that won't help you in the long run. We need to understand that when you are also doing your final year engineering projects, you're not actually investing time into it. Some people are buying the projects, they are not taking it seriously. This is the main problem. So I'll just play a short audio of Dr. Shashi Tharoor. It's a 1 minute clip. So what exactly is talking about the engineers in India right now?
Shashi Tharoor ji. Thank you so much. I listened attentively to the Honorable Minister. There is one statistic he mentions in his statement of reply, and one statistic he doesn't mention, both of which are very serious. The first is that study by the Skills India report shows that only 57% of our engineering graduates are employable. There is another picture, sir, which is not mentioned, which is that in detailed studies done by multiple people, including the organization I have the privilege to head, the All India Professionals Congress, which did a study of 10,000 engineers. Sir, 60% of our country's engineering graduates end up in jobs that do not even require an engineering degree, because there is such a major mismatch between what is taught in the majority of our engineering colleges and what the marketplace wants. Employers come back and say these people are not qualified to work for us. Even big companies like Tata's and TCS and Infosys have set up campuses in which they are re-educating children that they've already hired, not on-the-job training, just teaching them what they should have learned in college. Will the Honorable Minister, using AICTE or whatever means he wishes,
So as you have just heard, a member of parliament, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, he's talking about the mismatch, the gap between what exactly the industry wants and what actually the students have. There's a great mismatch of what companies expect. So they have to set up the training camps, okay? And before you join them, before you start working, it means that 4 years down the line that you have studied in your engineering college is complete waste, and just 3 months that you are trained on, that is useful. So the only solution available right now and tested is upskilling. Upskilling simply means learning new skills that you are passionate about or something that interests you. So there are a lot of domains where you can upskill. It could be data science, it could be machine learning, it could be full stack development, it could be web development, Android application development. It could be anything else, but you need to have hands-on experience and you need to learn the latest technologies to be to run in this competition. Then you're not in this competition if you don't have these skill set. And trust me, down the line, more 5 years, you will still be, if you do not upskill yourself, you will be out of competition. You will be doing a data entry job that doesn't require any engineering degree or any kind of a technical degree. So as as we are talking about why upskilling is important, so when you are working in any company, it's a very common term in any company. You will keep on hearing that upscaling, you need to upskill, let's upskill. They'll give you access to some webinars that are happening or some courses that you need to increase. So for example, now actually maybe you are fresh or you are working. So if in case you are looking for a job security or you want to secure your tenure, the highest tenure, maybe you want to stay in the company for say highest number of time, so and you want to get a good promotion and you want to grab the opportunity of growing into bigger position, so you need to learn new skills, keep yourself updated with the latest technologies. If you do not, then again you will lag behind. Employee retention and increase in productivity for employers. So for employers also, when you are well versed say with the latest technologies, it's a add-on for them, so they'll definitely try and retain you. So the retention level of the students basically goes up. And for a fresher, it's like basically you need to stand out in the crowd. For example, every year lakhs of engineers are graduating in India. Trust me, lakhs of engineers. Okay, everybody has the same skill set. Okay, I know C, I know C++, I know Java, that's it. I know HTML, I know CSS. But how will you stand out in the crowd? Why do you think the company will entertain you just because you have a BTech degree? I am sorry, they won't entertain you just because you have a BE degree or BTech degree or say BSc degree or say MCA degree, any kind of a technical degree. You need to stand out. For that you need to have a hands-on experience, do something by yourself, and that is definitely, that will open up a gateway to better opportunities. You can apply to better posts. For example, MNCs, no, they will definitely hire you, give you a smaller package, but why don't you apply for better opportunities out there in the market? You can always get a good package. So it's required to acquire knowledge beyond books, and your degree is not enough. As I mentioned earlier, you also need to learn the current industry standards and trends that will make you employable. Just posting on LinkedIn or just applying on Naukri.com or say any XYZ platform and that won't actually help you. You have to keep on trying and learning new technologies every day, like improve your data structures, improve your stack knowledge, your basics, and also get an opportunity to work with leading companies. So that's the reason I would say, upskilling is really, really important. That's actually the need of an hour for all the youths out there. Whoever is listening to me, do it. Anything you could refer to a YouTube tutorial, but you need to have a hands-on. You cannot just say I have a certificate of completion from XYZ company. That actually won't help you. You need to prove it to the technical recruiter who's hiring. So right now, as we are a part of StackHack, and I would talk about upskilling and become a full stack developer. As I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of other ways to upskill and get a good job, or say a dream job, basically. But today we'll be talking about what exactly is full stack development and why exactly we need to select this. So before we proceed to what is full stack development, I would like to give you some reasons why to become a full stack engineer. So becoming a full stack engineer would actually open gateways to pool of companies that are looking to hire you. You can work with the top companies. Every top company in the country, be it Flipkart, Amazon, everybody is hiring for full stack engineers. Salary for someone who is just graduated at say 0 to 2 years of experience, you can get a salary of approximately minimum 5 lakhs to 15 lakhs per annum, and that's a good amount when you compare to your on-campus opportunities. And even because in our program also we have instances where we have placed BSc students and they have got a good package of 7 LPA. So we have all the details on the website also. It's actually one of the highest paid jobs in the market right now. And there are 10x job opportunities. Go to any portal like LinkedIn, say Naukri, Monster, etc. You will see so many requirements are there for back-end engineers, full stack engineers, front-end engineers, say all the latest technologies. Be a superhero of the company. Who doesn't like to be the superhero of the company? You are a crucial part of the product development. For example, consider you're working for say Flipkart and you are a part of the team who is working on the mobile application. So of course you are a crucial part of the development. So everybody likes attention here. So yeah, you can be fruitful to the company and they'll try to retain you. And now coming back to what exactly is full stack. So it's very simple, and I'll put it in a very simple term and a very straightforward term. A full stack developer is a person who works both on the back end and the front end, basically the client side and the server side. So he knows how exactly the whole system, the whole architecture is working. He can basically program a browser like using JavaScript, jQuery, Angular. He can program a server like with PHP, with any language, PHP, Python, Node, etc. And he can also program a database, say SQL, MongoDB, any kind of database. So it's simple as that. If you know to work on the whole application like front end and back end, and you have a knowledge about it, about the architecture of the system, then yeah, you can definitely become a full stack engineer. And this is what is expected from a full stack engineer. So I will just drop down, like I'll show you some of the expectations, industry expectation from full stack developers. So of course, when you are you have just joining and you are a fresher, so they'll not expect everything from you, but they'll expect bits and pieces from these things. But down the line, when you have 3 4 years of work experience as a full stack developer, they will start expecting these things from you. Is basically software design, software architecture. Of course, the development is one of the crucial part, and the software infrastructure. Web development is one of the part of what is expected from a full stack developer. Frameworks, you should be well versed with the frameworks, libraries, and the platform. Testing is also one of the things that people are expecting. It depends, actually depends from company to company what environment they have, but these pointers are generic pointers that can be expected from a full stack developer. So it's testing, automation, integration. Then there is delivery, deployment, and maintenance. So we need to ship out products, we need to ship out updates. So that is expected from a full stack developer. Networking, hosting environment, system administration, and configuration, and security concerns all throughout the program. So this is a fact. So you need to be well versed with the authorization, etc. And how can you make your system more secure. So this is expected from a full stack developer. So as I mentioned earlier, when you are joining a company, they will not expect everything out of you, but bits and pieces they will expect. But 5 years down the line, they will start expecting more and more from you. But this has a great scope because you know how the application is working. So I've just listed down some of the popular stacks that are there in the market. So these are abbreviations, you could say. LAMP is basically Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. Mean is there, Mern is there, Django Stack is there, Ruby on Rails is there. So Mern Stack, why I have bold it, why I've highlighted it's basically we at our company we are right now focusing on Mern Stack, that is Mongo, Express, React, and Node. It has a great demand in the market. Of course, the other stacks do have, but we are focusing on this stack because I feel personally, it's one of the trending. JavaScript is one of the trending thing that we should consider right now and start working it. And all the top companies are trying to use these technologies to build their own product. If they have not built it already, they're trying to switch it to these stack. So if you, I've just given you an overview which companies are basically using these technologies. You could see Facebook, React is something started and maintained by Facebook, and it's an open source it's an open source, so everybody is contributing it. Top companies like Wix, Microsoft, everybody is contributing it. Airbnb is completely made using React Native. Instagram, they are migrating Instagram part by part into React. PayPal is there, Netflix is there, Skype is completely. If you go onto Microsoft website, they have made your they have put down a whole banner for React, that we love React, and they have made the Skype product out of React. Uber, Reddit, Flipkart, etc. So every top company is trying to switch to these stacks. At the same time, even startups are trying to switch and adopt to these technologies. So you see so much potential is there in these technologies. But when you come to, I will talk about current trends for full stack developers. Before we proceed there, many people are, they might be working already, or you are a student, or you will look out for a job in some time. So the main problem, say when you get a job, for example, right now I'm getting a job offer, say from XYZ company from an MNC, and the role that they're giving me is testing or say maintenance, and I sign up because I don't have a job. But down the line, when you are trying to switch, when you are trying to switch a profile, like you from testing or from maintenance, you want to become a developer or say full stack development or any other profile, then it becomes difficult for you to switch in that case, because you already have experience for testing. Then people will start considering you for the testing profiles. Okay, so it's very important that at the right of your career you make a right decision. But in case you have already taken that decision, you can always upskill yourself and change your field. It's not late. But 5 years down the line, you can't expect that, okay, I can become a full stack developer, I want to switch it. But it becomes difficult at that time. So trends for full stack developers, there's abundant demand for the full stack developers. As you know, you could see every company is shipping out a product for the customers, or if for their internal communication. So all companies have some internal products for the employees, for management of manpower, etc. So they are making full stack applications using, like, of course, using the developers that they have. Higher salary structure is something that you can expect when you are a full stack developer, because you are working on so many things. So of course the companies will give you and try to make you happy as much as they can. Growth landscape, as I mentioned, as you know, the whole system is, as a full stack developer, I know the whole system, working of a whole system. So I can maybe try and lead a development company or a product development team. Okay, but for example, I'm just a front end engineer, or I'm just an back end engineer. I don't know how exactly the whole system is gonna work. How is database gonna will be reacting to my APIs? How will it pass on the data? How are we consuming the APIs in the front end? So if you are a full stack developer, you know the whole part, and you can become a team lead. There are high chances, but for compared to other profiles, it's difficult. Increasing job opportunities, as I'm mentioning, everybody wants a mobile application, a website, a web application. So there are so many job opportunities right now in the market, and it will be added more in the future. And I would say about continual growth in knowledge and learning. Of course, you keep on learning new stack, and you get hands-on experience on so many other technologies at the same time. And work flexibility is something that companies give full stack developers, because I'm not so, as a full stack developer, I'm not dependent on a lot of people. So I can work from home, I can work according to my work hours. So companies are ready to give you work flexibility. So these were the current trends. Okay, and coming to the future scope, my colleague Soumya will take ahead from here.
Thank you, Neel. So guys, let's talk about the future scope of full stack developer. So to begin with, a full stack developer is someone who can work on both front end and back end of an application. So as rightly said by Neel, the skill sets of a full stack developer are not limited to developing an application, because he has other skill sets like system design, system infrastructure, testing, automation, etc. A full stack developer is someone who can work on multiple aspects as compared to a programmer. He can handle more projects that leads to the cost cutting, or the operation costs are reduced when they hire a full stack developer as compared to a front end or a back end developer. The future of full stack development developer is definitely attractive. It looks promising because of the steady growth and increase in demand of the full stack developers. There are many reasons why the demand of full stack developers is increasing. And sorry, so please stay on the side. Yeah. So the one of the reasons that the future scope of full stack developer is going to increase is smaller teams. So Jeff Bezos believes that a small team is efficient than a large team, because small teams are easy to manage, easy to communicate, thereby leading to cost cutting. Adaptability. When it comes to adaptability, a full stack developer is the right person who can handle various situations, like there can be times where the project requirements have entirely changed, or your team member is not working anymore, or he has terminated. So at this time, a full stack developer can single-handedly manage the entire project. So there we can see the future of adaptability in a full stack developer. Talking about new technologies, as of software applications are continuously updating. There are new versions of each programming languages. So no better person than a full stack developer to keep in touch with the new technologies and work with the same flexibility. Please move on to the next slide. Okay, so I'll be talking about the hiring trends of full stack developer. Coming to the campus placement, there are various companies that conduct pre-placement talks in the campuses. So while the companies talk about the pre-placement talk, they only talk about their company infrastructure, the vision and mission of their company. But nobody talks about what are the opportunities given to the students, what profile they would be working on, what would be their role, what growth does the company offer to the students. No one talks about that. And secondly, it is about mass hiring by MNCs. As rightly said by Mr. Sashi Tharoor and my colleague Neel as well, the MNCs just mass hire the students, and they train the students for 3 months. And after that, their role has been decided. So it just means that your degree was just a waste of time, and you did not take the opportunity to upskill yourself or explore new technologies. As the training is done by the MNCs, they offer you profiles that offer very less or no growth. The profiles can be termed as testing, support, maintenance, etc. Another thing that lacks in campus placement is merit-based campus placement. When the MNCs come to hire in the campus, they pick students based on their merit. I want to highlight this point that your merit does not speak about your practical exposure. What I believe is your practical exposure matters more than your CGPA. Please move on to the next slide. So I have listed down some of the hot skills in the market. These are known as hot skills because the demand of the skills are really high and the supply is really low. So some of the skills are React, Angular, Node.js, MongoDB, Python, R, Docker, AI, ML, etc. So I would like to say that it's high time that you just rely on your books and what your college is teaching you, because it's the time where you stand up for yourself, upskill yourself, look out for new opportunities where you can get an opportunity to work with leading companies. So we at Upskill by Techzilla have taken this initiative to upskill the youth and give them an opportunity to work with the leading companies. So more insights about our initiative will be given by my colleague Neel.
So talking about the National Upskill Program, I'll just give you a few highlights about what we are doing at Upskill by Techzilla. So we have this program where it's an 100-day intensive training program. So there is no upfront fee. We do not take any fees from you upfront. Only it's like if you are placed in any company and you're getting a package more than 5 lakhs per annum, then only you have to pay us back. It's completely into full stack training, and the trainers are industry experts who are already working in the industry in the top companies, and they have exposure of approximately 15 to 20 years in these stacks, and they know how exactly what exactly the companies are expecting, how you should crack the company interviews, what is expected from a candidate with 1 year of experience, from a fresher, or say 2 years of experience, or 5 years of experience, or somebody you want to switch, say to some other stack. And we also guarantee a package of 5 lakhs per annum, some package between 5 to 15 lakhs per annum. And we also focus on individual assistance and feedback. It's not that it's a highly paced program just for someone who is, like highly qualified, who already knows many lot of things, but it's also open to anybody who's willing to switch his career or his or her career into this domain. So I'll just give you an insight of the training module that we have for this training program. It's like basic and advanced data structures. Data structures is quite important when it comes to freshers or any one who is who has 1 to 2 years of experience. The companies do test you on data structures and algorithms, basically logical programming. Linux terminal, npm git is something basic that every developer should know. On the front end side, we have React, Redux, JavaScript, HTML5, jQuery, CSS3, Bootstrap. From the on the backend side, Node.js, Express.js, NoSQL, that is MongoDB and SQL. Basically, as mentioned earlier, we are focusing on Merge stack right now because that is one of the most trendiest stack, and everybody is hiring. And like there are a lot of opportunities and good opportunities, I would say. Coming to the testing, yeah, we also give an insight about TDD and server side management. It's like AWS, like giving walkthrough to Amazon Web Services, how exactly the containers work, the instances work, how exactly we can make a server live, etc. In terms of deployment, continuous integration, and containers, we use Docker. So Docker is also one of the trendiest stack, or the we could say something that companies are looking forward to have that skill in your CV. Design thinking is the way how you approach and make the UI UX of any application, or it could be web or mobile application. React Native is a mobile application framework there, where it's basically based on React. And software development technologies like waterfall method, there are a lot of methods, so we also give an insight about that. And at last, we focus on soft skill enhancement, technical and HR mock interviews. So we have a screening process to get into this training. We have a screening process. It's a 3-step selection process. First, there's an entrance test. It's an MCQ based test. Second is a coding round where we test your basic data structures and logical programming skill set. And the third is an assignment where you get 7 days to make a basic web application. You can use any tutorials available on the internet. So if you are passionate, and we help you throughout the process, and if you can make it through, you are selected into the program. So yeah, this is a screening process all about. And so it's completely online as of now. We used to conduct entrance test as some, say, IIT or say DTU earlier, but right now we have made it online. So it's like you can plug and play as per your convenience. You can start give the screening process right from your home. And yeah, so that's the end of the session from our end. And if you have any question and answer that you would like us to answer, please go for and ask us in the chat section.
Yes. Thank you, Neel. Thank you, Soumya. So we have a couple of questions from the participants. We
Mhm.
have one question saying, can non-technical people be hired as front-end engineers?
Yeah, definitely. See, it's not something that non-technical person, in the sense you're talking about, you don't have a degree in, say, computer science, or say science. Basically, there are a lot of people, they have done bachelors of commerce and they have shifted into this domain. What matters is your skills. So you need to learn. You need to have knowledge. You cannot expect, you don't know how to code or etc. Then you cannot expect that the company will hire you. But irrespective of your degree, probably mainly startups, they are looking for your skill set, not for your degree. So people who are dropouts, or say they don't have the required degree, like they're not from a good institute, still companies will hire you. Startups will definitely hire you. They'll give you good package if you have the right skill set. That is important. So definitely yes, if you are from a non-technical background, you can switch to become a front-end engineer.
All right. So another question that we had is, do you need to have a web developer? Do you need to be a web developer to be considered as a full stack developer? Aren't developers who use frameworks like Flutter considered full stack developers as well?
Yeah, so Flutter is basically something that we use to make hybrid applications, right? So they can be considered, but if you know how exactly you can code in backend, how exactly you are consuming the APIs, if you are also making the APIs, you can be termed as a full stack developer. As I mentioned earlier, it depends from company to company the requirement. So, but just only if you know Flutter, I am not sure about you can be termed as a full stack developer. You need to understand the whole software architecture, the development cycle, the backend, working of the backend, the databases, as well as the front end, basically, that is the Flutter or say any other framework that you are using for your mobile application.
So another question that they have asked is, does WordPress also come into the category of full stack development?
See, WordPress, frankly speaking, it's an CMS, content management system. So it's a pre-developed CMS wherein you just customize the using some themes and plugins, right? So if you know how to go into the theme of the WordPress template, edit the PHP, change the front end HTML, CSS, and the Bootstrap, and then probably you can be termed. But if you are just installing the plugins and activating the templates, etc., then you cannot be termed as full stack developer.
Got it. So a very general question here. They're saying, how can we get a global certificate of AWS, Microsoft for any courses such as ML, Node.js, etc.?
I think for that you will have to refer their websites if they are issuing any global certificates for these courses. But usually they are valid globally. All the certifications are valid globally unless and until you have the skill set. So usually when we interview, we do see, okay, you have a certification. But if I ask you one question about AI ML and you are not able to answer it, that certificate even from AWS or even from Google doesn't matter. Then you won't be hired just because you have a certificate. So global validation is done on basis of your skills or your knowledge about that stack, not only with the certificate issued by the company.
Mhm. So another question that we had is from a working professional. They've
Mhm.
asked, saying that I'm a working professional working as a Java full stack engineer with Spring Boot and
Mhm.
Angular experience for a year. Do you
Mhm.
offer any courses for people who have experience?
Or people who have it have.
Experience, people like a person who has 1 year of work experience.
Yeah, so definitely this program is open to anybody and everybody who have experience and who want to switch and who want to learn these stacks. So they are most welcome. So it's open to all the work experience people, freshers as well as students.
Okay. Another question that we had is, do you guys offer remote placement?
No, we right now we are not offering remote placement, and also talking about the course. Right now we are just offering full stack development, but in the time being we'll be adding data science soon. So in case you are interested in data science, you can stay tuned for that.
Okay. Another interesting question that we had is, they want to know a little more about the syllabus, what is
Mhm.
covered under it. So that's something that they're interested in understanding.
Syllabus. Okay, so I'll show the slide again. Uh,
Mhm. To all the attendees, we will be sharing the slide again. We'll be putting it up on the HackerEarth Hackathon page
okay,
along with this webinar video. But you
okay.
can showcase the slide again.
Sorry, do you want me to showcase it? I can. Yeah.
Yes, please.
So this is the
Yes.
training module that we were talking about. So this is the syllabus of the training program.
All right. Thank you. Then the
Yeah.
next question that we have, is, so I have I have 2 years of experience. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
that's sorry, just moving on to the next one. It's pretty much
Okay.
similar to the person who's asked for work experience. Can they be a part of your course?
Yeah, it
Um,
definitely can be a part of the course.
yeah, I want to make my career in ML field in the future, but need to start in. He wants to understand, how does he go about to become a full stack developer? Like, what are the steps that he needs to take? What are the programming languages? What is the good programming languages for a front end developer? What is the good programming languages for a back end developer? So that's the
Mhm.
question he's asking.
Okay, so like for front end, the basics that you need to mandatorily know is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so these are the mandate skills that you know, and I am sure that you might be assuming that I know HTML, I know some tags like marquee, etc. Head, but that won't help. You need to have an hands-on experience. Try making a web page by yourself and see how much extra efforts you require for that. So in terms of front end, the trending I would say about trending. I would suggest you React.js. That is Angular. Any version of Angular is one of the trendiest thing. Then there is you can learn Bootstrap to start with. You can go ahead with HTML5, CSS, and Bootstrap. So that is mainly used for front end and back end. You have flexibility to use Java. You can use Node.js with MongoDB. You can use PHP with MySQL, and you can use Python. And Python has multiple frameworks like Django, Flask. So these you can select. You can go through. What you can do is try and go through some tutorials and try you figure out which stack or which stack you have interest and you are finding familiar, or you are able to cope up with that thing. Python syntax is pretty much simple compared to other languages. JavaScript is also very powerful. So I would suggest you to go ahead with JavaScript and Python. Anything in JavaScript.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the next question they have is, why is Vue.js not so popular in India?
See, popular is something we cannot term. It's just like how many. It depends on how many users you have. But Vue.js independently, it's a good framework. It's not clicked yet, but people are using it. So down the line, we can expect Vue.js to come up in the market. And it's like the trend started. For example, why React is famous? It's a trend started by Facebook, and it's a very powerful tool, and everybody is following it, and they are able to suffice a requirement out of React.js. I'm able to do whatever I want to do with the help of React.js. So probably that's much more popular and people are adopting it because the high level companies, like all the top companies, are adapting React. So of course, a lot of people start following the same thing. So Vue.js, we can expect down the line, maybe, we hope that comes up and it becomes popular. But popular is something, that's not important. It's like just because many people are using it, we are terming it as popular.
Sure. So the next question is to my colleague Zishan. So Zishan, a couple of participants have asked if JSP for backend is allowed in the project in the problem statements. I think Zishan's having some technical difficulty. Zishan, can you hear me?
Ankita, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So as you know, basically the discussion what we had was, so mean stack is preferred. Please, Neel, correct me if I'm wrong. So mean stack is preferred, but participants can use any kind of technology stack, be it front end or back end, to create the applications.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. So moving on to other questions that we have received, is it worth to be a JavaScript full stack developer? Do market have demand for these developers? Do product-based companies like Zoho, Amazon need these kind of developers? So that's one of another question that we received.
Definitely. So is that question to me, right? Or Zishan?
Yes. Neel, you can take it up.
You take this up, yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, Neel, go ahead, please.
Go ahead, Neel.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely JavaScript developers have a very great demand right now in the market. All the top product-based companies, as I mentioned, that these companies are already using these stack to make their own products. Even Flipkart, Amazon. So Amazon doesn't have only a website that is the customer e-commerce website. They have so many internal products also. So they want something to ship out as soon as possible. They're using these tags. Even Geo has so many applications built on JavaScript. Flipkart, Airbnb, Uber, Ola. Say Facebook, Instagram, all the Facebook products, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. So yeah, of course, there's a lot of demand for JavaScript developers. All the startups are also preferring these stacks because it's very easy and convenient to make a web app or like a full stack application out of it.
Okay. Another question that we had, and this is probably to Zishan. Zishan, I am building a solution for task management to-do list theme where I have used Firebase as my backend database, which is used to store the to-do information, host the REST APIs, and for sign up and login purposes. I want to know if this would count towards his idea being graduated or being evaluated.
Sure. So the idea was, participants are supposed to write the backend from scratch, and also, they are supposed to write the front end also from ground up. That's why, we received many queries where participants are like, can we use Firebase? And we were saying no. But for if you are implementing only one component like authentication, or you are performing other things, other small things on Firebase, then that is fine. But if Firebase is your entire backend, then I don't think that qualifies as a backend, right? Because in Firebase you can put up the data structure in JSON body, and you can expose an APIs, and you may not have to write the entire backend. So for these purposes, it is advised that you guys write your own backend and use Firebase for minimal work, for authentication and such. Yeah.
All
Neel,
right.
you can add
Thank
if
you,
you want to
Zishan.
add something.
Thank you, Zishan. So another question that we have received is, why do you prefer React than Angular? Most of the online sites say Angular is for large scale, but React is in current trend. So any light on that you would like to share, any insight for the participant?
Not really. So see, the opinion matters, like differs from person to person, from blogs to blogs, depending on what stack you've explored. Maybe that person has not explored React as much as he has explored Angular. So he feels that's much more powerful, but I have not seen any limitation of React right now. There are certain limitations for all the stack, even for Angular, even for React. There are so many limitations. But at the same time, you need to compare the pros and cons of the stack and understand your use case, and then select a stack according to the use case. So for example, if you want to handle a lot of data for backend, probably we can select Python for heavy data sets, but if not, then we can go with Node.js. So accordingly, for front end also, if you list down the pros and cons and understand the use case, and then probably you can select one.
Thank you, Neel. So Zishan, I have a question for you. One of the participants wants to know if he can build an Android app for the to-do list and not a web app. Is that allowed?
So this is a stack hack, where we have asked participants to create end-to-end web applications. Uh, I'm not really sure, as in, like, first of all, they should have a backend also. But Neel, do you think, as in, like, we're gonna entertain Android front end and with a backend or something?
Right. If they are doing it with an Android application, it's good. So we can consider them, unless they have also done it from scratch and they have a backend running. If it's a dynamic application, so we can definitely consider them as well.
Sure.
So another question that we had is, can I use any database for backend development, or should I use an in-memory database?
So we have not asked for any in-memory data structure anyway. So our preferred is Neel stack, where we are asking for MongoDB, and other parties, they can use any other stack. So MySQL, Postgre, or any other NoSQL DB, anything would work. And actually, do not use in-memory databases, please.
All right. Thank you, Zishan. So that's pretty much the end of the Q&A. If there's anything else that anyone wants to ask us in terms of questions, please use the discussion forum, the hackathon discussion forum, as well as the form. We will still keep the form open, and please do not forget to make your submissions. The hackathon ends this weekend. It's ending on Sunday at 11:55 p.m. So please make your submission towards the problem statements. So that's it from our end. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And please do check out the Techzilla website. You'll get a lot of information there. You can reach out to the Techzilla spokespeople as well in case you have any questions around the upskilling program that they're offering. Thank you, Neel, and thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Zishan.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, Ankita.
Thank you.